Hold on, Finn. Have you ever conducted a video interview before? Like a movie interview?
No, this is the first time.
Good luck.
Joe Stringbean McConaughy, widely recognized as one of the most accomplished and influential athletes of the last decade in the wild world of multi-day ultra trail running, myself and Scott Hickenlooper were stoked for the opportunity to document his experience training for and racing at the 2024 Barkley Marathons. To get to know Joe is to love him. And we got the authentic experience in the lead up, sitting down for a long-form pre-race, pre-Barkley interview in the basement washer and dryer room of his home that coincidentally doubles as a workout space for his beloved stair-stepper, affectionately named Steppy, tagging along to crew and pace an 8-hour training run on the cable line trail of local Tiger Mountain, and even tour his childhood home and bedroom that further painted the picture of what Joe would become and how he would arrive at this very moment.
Been in Lake City, which is where we're at. This is my childhood home. It's like my cribs, huh? My mom cribs. Grew up in Lake City in Seattle, and you can see my height wall here. So I'm about like 6'4", and this is a constant competition between myself and my brother. And Will edged out. We're about actually almost the exact same height, but I feel like I'm almost shorter than that now. I feel like I've like shrunk a half inch.
Are your parents tall?
My mom's tall. My dad's is also pretty tall. He's like 6'2". Yeah, so I would like put myself maybe like right around there. I think Will overinflated that. I don't think that's real. So this is me as a kid. So I love soccer. I actually love basketball more. That's a basketball shirt that I'm wearing. But then the Seattle Supersonics got sold, and I also kind of sucked at basketball. So I really stuck with running. And this is my older brother, Will. He had very long hair, and he loved death metal.
Does the Boy Scout designation help at all with Barkley? Do you feel anything from your...
That's the only reason Laz let me in, I think.
Really? But you included that in your letter?
No,
what'd you
I don't
include in
think
your letter?
I can't tell you what I included in my letter.
Really?
That's personal information. No. I've like changed how I've written letters over the years, because when I first wrote the letter, I was like, hey Laz, like maybe you know who I am. I've done the AT. I'd really love to come to your race. This seems so great. I'm a backpacking guide and do some other stuff. Great. And then like as it's gone on, the more I've been like, Laz, I've done this shit. This is what it's been. This is why I'm legit. This is why I'm like, you have to advocate for. I'm like not good at advocating for myself or like hyping myself up as like a accoladed person.
Okay.
But I also didn't get in for like 4 years, so I changed my tact, which maybe helped me get in more, or maybe I just like played the game long enough. I don't know.
Okay. So he wants some aggression in the letter.
I don't know.
Or
what
confidence.
He wants. Confidence is probably like. Well, the real thing is like have you ever like had people apply to something? Like you don't want people like dancing around being like, yeah, I think I'm pretty qualified for this job. I don't know because I do a few things really. It's like I set the AT-FKT, I set the PCT-FKT, I set XYZ, I've run 100 miles, 250 miles. I am a backpacking guide. I have off-trail skills, and I lead people in those environments.
Yeah.
And I'm like really good at multi-day events.
Yeah.
And I have a very like calm demeanor, and I'm not like intimidated by the event or the distance, and you should let me in.
Gonna go and do repeats up Tiger Mountain. It's about 5:30ish or something. 6:10. Wow. Yeah, right there. And I'll be going for about 8 hours. So it'll be probably around 9,000 feet of vert with me, I guess.
And about 5 houses.
It's pretty much just straight up. So it's like a 30% grade, I want to say, 25% grade, something like that. And yeah, it's just a trail that was designed to go directly up Tiger Mountain, so it's the easiest and best way to get further.
To me, I feel like doing these big adventures, going out doing Barkley, doing FKTs, going on, backpacking trips, guiding backpacking trips. It's all like a different way to explore my relationship with the outdoors. And the way that it affects me is it allows me to sort of like take a assessment of my life in that specific moment. Doing these big mountain events and efforts, I think does a really good job at inspiring me to kind of come back with my, cup full, as opposed to just kind of floating through life and being so stuck in the inertia of day-to-day life.
Done?
Done. 8 hours, actually 7 hours, 55 minutes, so 25 miles. Well, pretty low heart rate. I'm doing pretty good for myself. It's pretty good. I have a high training load. I'm apparently overreaching, and I gained 16,700. Funnily enough, the very end there, I just started to feel a little bit of quad fatigue and build up, but overall, yeah, doing pretty good. Just hitting pretty even splits the whole time. Ate well, ran well, hiked well, so stoked for Barkley. It's gonna be a fun time.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited. Cool.
So the Barkley Marathon has gotten a bad rap in the last few years from some people because it's this incredibly hyped event. There's 40 people who are participating in this wild, crazy event in the woods in Tennessee with this seemingly madman at the helm being as maniacal as he can. And there's a lot of people who find that premise just comical. The thing that's so beautiful about Barkley is that it's so freaking hard. You almost go into it expecting not to finish, which is not a mindset any of us are used to. Like, you're never going to sign up for a race or a job going into it knowing you're going to fail. Like, we are very bad at accepting failure. And that's kind of the point, has turned into the point in some ways of Barkley where, yeah, you're going to fail and that's okay, right? Like, it's cool to not fail, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal for you.
Camp has generally been that this is the easiest Barkley in years.
That's what everyone's been telling me, and I've been telling everyone else. Considering I have a long, illustrious history here. No, it looks pretty good. I think it should be fun. Nothing too crazy, but also could be crazy.
I would say more fun than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, except that could happen too.
That's true. You get 2 for 1. I honestly, when I went up to Bird Mountain, and I got hit in the eye, and it reminded me of when I got poked by a pine needle and I scratched my cornea, and I was like, if I scratch my cornea the day, it's not bad enough that
on the Candy Ass Trail the day before the race.
I was like, that's not enough of an excuse to be like, oh, I'm hurt so bad I can't, I'm still doing, you can't not do Barkley,
I don't know, one eye on the Barkley Trail at night in the fog.
There you go, Joe. I think that's it. Oh no, the touch screen just left.
Oh, it just left?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yep. So I still have 2 left.
Wow.
Good luck, brother. This is your year.
Could be a good one.
Take a minute to remember why you're here. Make sure you get your asses out alive and to have some fun out there.
All you people that are standing right in the track, they gotta go out. Get the hell out of there! You with the light, out! You have 45 seconds. Ten. Wow. 5.
It's on. North, south, east, west. Go hard, Rob!
That's why I was hollering at the cameras to get out. They can't wait to die.
You look back and we all want to win.
Yeah.
Winning that's what you should strive for. Trying to win
Yeah.
is everything. Or trying to achieve things, to have accomplishments. You have a mix of successes and failures, but when you get to the other side and you look back and reflect, you want to know that you did your best. You didn't shirk putting in the work it takes and expect to have success without doing what it requires. You lived up to the highest standard of performance, even though your best performance might not be the same as someone else's. You can still compete to the same standard. And in the end, you can look back on it then as an athlete. You can never be satisfied because you always want to get better. But you want to be able to look back and be satisfied. I had a career that was worth being satisfied with.
No one's telling me where to go.
Oh, I got plenty of time. And I was like, actually, do I have plenty of time? You know, I went over and was like talking to Carl and Laz, and they're like talking about these big groups that everyone's been seeing, like 2 large groups, like 6 runners. And the main thing I'm focused on right now is getting this mate into Joe. He's a freak for this stuff. No, we're just gonna try and get a quick turnaround. I think we're talking about 10 minutes or less, but we do have a lot to do. I mean, it's one really cool thing about crewing Joe is that he kind of knows, like when he usually comes in for 8, he knows what he wants, and so he'll start like being the captain of the show, and he'll say, give me this, give me that. So I'm not exactly sure what he wants, especially just after like a relatively short first loop, but I'm just going to try and have everything over there. So
This actually is a pretty good fan. I should be doing this for...
Let's go. You look good.
Going okay. I'm not climbing very well. That's okay. I'm moving well. Could you get the Zyrtec and the 2 pill bottles? What's that? Could you get the 2 pill bottles? Yeah, these back here. Go right behind the sign. He gave us a fan this year.
Time.
8:35:17.
Not too bad.
Good job.
I'll take it.
How was it?
It was good.
Did 5 loops seem doable?
5 loops seems doable. I'm kind of like weak on the climb. I'm getting smoked on the climb. It's looking like chump change.
We saw this whole
down.
climb up into the gate here. They just pulled away. You were with them until
I'll
they
never
climbed
see
to the
him.
gate.
Exactly.
It's very lonely. Like doing Barkley is very lonely. You're just out there for 60 hours. You might be with people for a little bit, but it's a very solitary experience. And so even just having people watch you like you're kind of an animal in a cage is like a social experience. For me, it's like, yeah, go frickin' like throw up on a frickin' concrete road in the middle of a campground, eat your like butternut blaster Sonic shake, like pop a blood blister and have like a little bit of blood squirt onto the tarmac, and everybody's just there watching everything happen. But when you're running, you're out there for so long and you have this kind of like short, 15 to 30 minute window. To me, I don't mind the sort of like spectator experience.
How you doing? I'm pretty good. I'm feeling a little like bonky, which is shocking. But I'll probably just take the climbs chiller.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving well on the down still. So what about you?
You want your beanie?
No, I'm good. It's really hot.
Yeah, it is.
Already got it. Oh, back. Did you try to smooch me?
Let the viewers decide. I mean, he was able to really give me some clear directives on what he wanted and needed. I think he looked a little like a little more fried than I would have expected. Not that it's an easy lap, but just like salt stains. Looks maybe a little dehydrated, but he did say that he put down a lot of fluids in the last hour of the loop, so he knew that. And I'm guessing just because it was cold when they started, people got behind on fluids. But yeah, other than that, he looked good. He had a blister already, which is probably normal for this course. So we drained that, washed his feet. We got everything done. I think he was looking for like a 10-minute turnaround, which, you know, I think with the foot wash and like a little massage stuff is probably a little unrealistic, but he was out in about 15, which is, I think, solid.
One of the wild aspects of Barkley is you really don't know what's happening out there to runners. And this might shock some people, but you don't know that much more than the people sitting at home getting Twitter updates from Keith. Other than camp, there's one spot on the loop, and that's Ratshaw, where spectators can go and you sit there. You collectively hold your breath. We were there for what seemed like hours on lap 2, wondering where Joe was, and you never really know. And that was eye-opening for me. The isolation from their experience is sobering. That's why the sport is so amazing, though, you know? Like, it's just so fickle.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you're probably going to win Tocadona in like a month.
I hope so. I was telling Whit, I kind of was like second-guessing my fitness. So I was like, I'm really getting dropped on some of the climbs. And then I realized when I started struggling on climbs was after I sprained my ankle, or rolled my ankle going up Ratjaw. Because I sprained my ankle on Ratjaw, I did like a full...
It was on Ratjaw?
Going down Ratjaw. Because it's like, I mean, Ratjaw is really steep. And you get your feet caught by briars. So I got one of my foot caught by a briar. And then I was like, did the old like, woo.
Yeah.
And then I threw both my poles. I like almost fell on my face. And then I didn't, but instead I like rolled my ankle and then fell 2 feet flat. And then Jasmin Paris was right behind me. And she was like, oh, you okay? And she picked up my poles for me and gave them to me. And then I was like, I'm fine. I told you to do it. No, I wasn't like that. But I walked it off. And then coming down Little Hell, I like found the first book and then was taking a bearing and just stood on it kind of the right. Well, stepped on like a branch or something that was underneath some leaves, and I just like, it was really painful. Like there were people going up and down Big Hell, and I literally was there. And for like 3 minutes, I was just like yelling my face off. It's like this last year. You get a lot of time to like grieve while you're finished, like while you're stuck on course. So, but I kind of already knew what, like I basically, when I rolled it the second time, I was like, God, like either I do this descent and do a climb and like make it to Ratjaw, and like I either commit to doing Ratjaw with a sprained ankle, or maybe it's good, or I like literally could turn around right now and just go right down a really easy trail all the way back. And then right as I was like, I don't think I should run on this, Aurelian and Jared Campbell caught up to me, like, dude, what's up? And I was like, I'm just deciding if I should drop out for my ankle or not. And I was like, no, just like get some movement in it and maybe it'll change. And I've done that countless times. So I was like, yeah, you could be right. And then it felt great running downhill. I actually beat them downhill. They took like this route off to the left that didn't make sense, and I just followed my bearing. And then I got to the book at the same time as them, essentially. So it was like a funny moment of
like, oh, I still got it. And then within
Half of you was intact. Half
Yeah.
of you was working.
within 30 seconds of going uphill, I like just broke. They immediately got me, and then I couldn't hike for more than like 5 minutes without getting at like a normal hiking pace without getting out of breath and having to take like a sit down break. So then I tried getting Oreos. I had a salt pill, I had some Mac, and then kept moving, and then still felt like shit, and then made it to the top of Zipper. It took me 2 hours to do a climb that should take like 45 minutes. And then I was like, okay, that's a good cue to drop, but I had to still quit. So I was at the top of a mountain, so I figured out I could save myself 2.5 trail miles if I did like this off-trail section. So I just made my own off-trail section and then hit a nice trail and then ran in here. But I could like run the whole downhill, and I could run downhill off-trail. But the uphill, I just kind of...
Yeah, we saw those dudes.
It was tough.
We'll support you to the ends of the earth. If you ever do this again.
I think we should get a bib, put it on wet, tell Laz that I'm feeling good, and see if he knows that it's you.
Well, it's funny because this morning I like went and sat down in my overalls, and Laz is like, "You must be the first runner that retired already." I was like, "Well, I am a retired runner, but I wasn't in this race, buddy."
Wow, he called you out on it, huh?